Hey guys. Oh my gosh, my music. I have to tell you a quick story about my music. Somebody commented this week, I think it was CB, if you're here, CB, or I think that's the screen name here on YouTube, said I usually skip right past intro music, but I replay yours. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love that someone really likes the music. You guys, I'm so excited tonight. Thanks, first of all, for starting the chat at 6:21 Mountain State Pickers. Give me no chance to get caught up, but I am going to do my best to be caught up because I want to know any questions that you have for our guest tonight. I hope you guys are as excited as I am about this. Some of the best resellers on the planet, don't have YouTube channels. Surprise, spoiler alert. Okay. And then also, I feel like some of the best resellers do this part-time because think about it, like you must really have a love for reselling if you want to do this after your 9 to 5 every day. And some of the best resellers are showing up in our chats and interacting with everyone. My guest tonight does all of those things. You guys know him as Anthony C. I have in my title here just Anthony, but I have linked in my description if you're not familiar with Anthony on Instagram. He goes by Anthony Makes Change, and the description has a link to his Instagram. You guys, I'm so excited, and I see Melanie's dropped it in there. Thank you so much for being such an awesome friend and mod, Melanie. But guys, throw some little clap hands. If you write clap, then you'll get a little applause emoji. Throw it together for Anthony. Here he is, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Are you so excited?
We'll go with that.
You're on this other side of the chat. I am super excited about it. So let's go ahead. Do you want to help me out saying hi to everybody that was here before we started?
Sure.
We got the Flippin' Bros. First of all, says, hi, Rachel. Got my shark book today. I bought last week from you. Thank you so much for buying that book and giving it to his 7-year-old cousin who loves all things nature and outdoors. That's like my little boy. Guys, I saw that the Flippin' Bros has a YouTube channel, and it looks like a newer YouTube channel. And I'm gonna drop right now their link in the chat. And do me a favor, go sub and check out a couple of the videos. I haven't checked them out yet myself, so after this, I'm gonna watch some of their videos, comment, share the reseller love, right? Anthony, I know you know Melody. She's here supporting, dropping your link. We have Accidental Time Traveler. Maggie is here. So glad that you're here. Shopping with Cheryl is here, and early Linda Paul. Hello. Let me see here. Thanks. It's a little complicated for me, but I'm closer each day. Well, I'm glad that you're doing well, Maggie. Sandy is here. Sandy Stroon. Do you think that's how you pronounce it? Is Stroon?
I would say that's right. That might be a new name for me, but
yeah,
I'm just listening like in my pocket at work.
So tell everybody, what is your normal 9 to 5?
My 9 to 5. I'm a retail manager. I work at Kroger. So
gotcha.
Typically I'm closing, which is 12 to 10. And then if there's stuff going on, I'm there later. But I usually, like I said, I'm usually just listening to the show while I'm walking around doing whatever I need to do. Typically unloading trucks that time of night.
See, whenever I have someone in my ear, I can't listen to anything that my kids or my husband is saying. So I can either listen to the show or listen to the people around me. So that would be tough for me because I would want to be more involved in the chat than that. But that's awesome. So you like resell all day long, even at the grocery store. I mean,
pretty much. I've been in retail now 16, 17 years.
Nice. Wow. That's quite a while. What's the best part about working at a grocery store though?
Oh man, finding clearance I can flip.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, that's spoken like a true part-time reseller there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I started out at Walmart for a long time, and I mean, I've just enjoyed it. I've enjoyed mostly working with people, getting to see and interact with people and with the other workers there every day.
Do you feel like you work part-time hours, or do you, I mean, I don't see any reason why someone who resells as a side hustle can't be considered full-time. A lot of people say, well, it can be your only source of income. But I feel like if you work full-time hours at it, or you give it a full-time effort, what do you consider yourself?
For reselling? Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess probably part-time.
Gotcha. How often do you find yourself? I feel like you list and sell quite a bit.
I mean, I definitely try to keep up as much as I can. I mean, there was a time where when I first started, I mean, I'd be going to the thrift store like every day on lunch. I'd be going after work, just be finding everything that I can. I mean,
Why is like thrifting and reselling such a passion for you? Then you have to be passionate about it if you're wanting to do it that often.
I don't know. I guess when I first started reselling, I actually had started by watching Retro Rick. He was doing like his $10 game collection, and I was watching that, and I was, we're a single income family, so it's my job is what pays the bills. My wife stays at home with the kids and homeschools. And so, single income, we are mostly, all of my money is going to pay the bills, support the family. And so, if I want to buy something like video games, it's like, I don't, pretty much at the end of the month, we're breaking even.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, for a long time, it was even, credit cards all throughout the year. And then we get taxes back and bonus back at work, and we pay it all off and then kind of start that cycle again.
Wow.
So it was, I guess, 2021, a year and a half about, that I've been reselling now. And I mean, I had started watching them flip video games. I'll buy this lot, keep what I want, and then sell the rest off. I was like, I want to be able to play video games. I want to be able to buy some things that I want, I guess kind of, guilt free. And so I started looking at doing that and found Harry Tornado next and started doing what I could to flip, and it kind of just took off from there.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that, like, in a way, then reselling has given you more financial independence than you had previously then.
Oh yeah, it definitely, I mean, it changed a lot for us. I mean,
has your wife gotten into like the reselling aspect of it then?
A little bit. I mean, it's her eBay account that she's had for a long time. Gotcha. I mean, she used to sell, like, every once in a while she would get on and sell something here or there. And I just used her account because it had feedback built up and everything, and we just started right on that.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, because like being at home, homeschooling kids is like 7 full-time jobs. Like, bless her for doing that. But she may have a little bit of free time at home maybe she doesn't want to. Maybe she wants that as her time and not necessarily a reselling time.
Yeah, I guess she's usually figuring out stuff for the kids, what their next move is, what they need planned out for their school. My son is 14. My daughter's right behind him, about to turn 13, and then my youngest is 7.
Oh, gotcha. Your kids are spread out like mine.
Yeah, so she's got her hands full planning out their lives, basically.
I'd say, yeah, it's kind of a full-time thing. Like today I was looking and we have to get 100 things on a shirt for Israel's 100th day of school. And then Dello has like a National Honor Society thing that is due, and we have to get his homecoming outfit. I'm just like, there's always something. And then book fair with the PTO next week. There's just always something with kids. I saw this question from Trevor real quick. He said, I saw your Clean Kicks reel. Are you sponsored? So Clean Kicks mailed me that kit, and I told them I would make a reel about it. And I definitely wanted to talk about it on a few YouTube videos. So it's not like a paid sponsorship or anything, as much as it is the stuff was free. So I didn't want everyone thinking like I spent my own money. I feel like if you accept something for free in exchange for a review, you should say that. So yes and no, Trevor. Unfortunately not being like paid to talk about them. That'd be cool though. And they gave me a code. I'll drop it over on my Instagram. It's for 15% off any of their kits, because I saw a lot of people say that they would like to try to use a tool like that. Do you pick up dirty shoes?
Oh no, I can't do shoes like that. I mean, I have probably 5 bins of shoes that I've picked up. Like, if I find shoes that I know will sell well, I'll pick them up, but I can't, I listed 2 pairs of shoes the other day, and I just have these bins that have been sitting forever and ever in my death pile full of shoes.
Dalton would be so disappointed in you.
One day I'll list them. I think I just need to, now that I've gotten kind of organized out here, I'm just going to pull out a bin of shoes and list them however they are, clean, dirty, and then just, if I got to list them lower, I will, but I'm kind of over cleaning shoes. I just feel like they're dirty.
There's other things we could buy, right? You don't have to. You actually don't. A lot of times people are like, why don't you eat meat? I'm like, because you don't have to. There's other things to eat. I don't pick up dirty shoes because I don't have to. There's other things to pick up. It's pretty nasty. Lori says, I'm so happy to have this live full of friends and positivity after spending most of the day at the ER with one of my older kids. Oh, gosh. Lori, I hope everybody's okay. I mean, I'm sure they are. You wouldn't be here, but That's a lot. Wow. Hello to everyone that has joined in. I tried to pop several of your names up there just to say hi, but definitely want to like spend some time talking to Anthony tonight as well, and just talk about like why he resells, because I feel like a lot of the people in our chat also resell part-time. Like, do you ever see yourself going full time though? Is that a dream or an ambition of yours at
I
all?
mean, I kind of think about it like I probably could do this full time. Like I'm in Richmond, Virginia, so there's tons of activities, tons of thrift stores, tons of sourcing to be done around here, and I feel like I could probably find enough stuff to keep that going. And I don't know that I'm ready to try to make that jump right now.
It's a lot of pressure.
But,
yeah.
I think the biggest thing that I kind of in my mind right now that's kind of a hurdle to that would be, right now the only thing I have for sourcing is thrift stores. Like that's the only thing that I've really gone to or used. So it's like if they change their model, I'd be out of luck. I may be in some trouble. So I want to try to kind of diversify how I'm getting my stuff that I resell.
Do you ever go to estate sales?
In retail, I work weekends usually, so it's a little hard to get out there on Saturday morning and do thrifting and estate sales. But
you need to check and see if there's any estate sales that start like Thursday mornings. A lot of times they'll have like a Thursday's day one, and then run through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And like if you have the potential to be there at like 6 a.m. on a Thursday, you can get some really good stuff sometimes.
That sounds good. I hit some estate sales here and there as I can.
Yeah.
Summertime yard sales seem to be really good around here. I've done pretty well overall. Like I said, it's just getting that time off on a Saturday to go to that kind of stuff.
I feel that. So, I mean, sometimes I'm like, what's a weekend again? Because I just definitely work straight through the weekends all the time. Cottage Keeper is showing some respect to your wife for homeschooling again. And I know Lori homeschools her kids. PD homeschools her kids. There's so many homeschooling moms in the reselling community. So I feel like that's, Keith's wife, Amber, she homeschools their kids also. I mean, being a mom, teacher, and the guidance counselor. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's it. Life planner. I mean, she's looking at colleges for them. Here's what you can do. Here's these different jobs. What do you like? Which of these jobs do you want to do? We'll figure it out. We'll set you up for it.
What do you think your kids want to do? Like, they've got plenty of time to change their mind if the oldest is 14, but what direction are they going? They want to work resell?
I mean, my son likes to come out here and hang out and see what I'm doing, and likes to go to the thrift stores with me. So, I mean, he could maybe start out doing that. I see, Delo's killing it on Whatnot right now.
Yeah, thanks for always supporting him. Like, even if it's just popping in, but you've bought so much stuff from him too. But do you see your oldest jumping on Whatnot with you at some point?
I got to see myself jumping on Whatnot first. But, I mean, it can happen, I guess.
I mean, you sell so many Lego, and here's the thing. Like, I know you've been in Delo's chats before where he doesn't even know how much it's worth, and the chat is like, oh, that's worth X amount of dollars, and they always run it up to that. So, like, all of the Lego that you have, if you could consider selling it, even if it's for a couple of dollars less a piece, but sell it all in one night, I mean.
Right. I mean, I have, like, some drawers next to me, like full of all of my minifigures, and
so many minifigs.
They're not even listed. Like I probably have, I don't know, if I had to guess, maybe like 300 minifigures sitting here, not even listed. So I could probably take that to Whatnot, tomorrow.
Yes. I mean, he makes so much more money than I do on Whatnot. Absolutely, like without a doubt. So I was talking on Whatnot on Atomic Redhead Mary on her Whatnot, and yeah, that's what we were talking about. People saying like, do you need a social media following? I'm like, my son's not even allowed on social media, and he does better than I do on the app. So don't tell me that you need a social media following.
Right.
Yeah. Keith said you have the voice of a coach.
Gee, thanks, Keith.
So speaking of being famous and speaking of all of those things, is this being on YouTube tonight, is this like the first time that you've ever been like online in this capacity?
I mean, I guess for real, this would be kind of my real debut, but I did have a very small debut on a Walmart video a few years back.
Hang on. Is Christopher still with us? Because you said Walmart, and I just want to make sure he didn't leave the room. Well, you were on a People of Walmart. Were you wearing like nude
Oh no,
colored leggings with a tube top or something?
no. The area that we were in sometimes had some not so nice clientele that would come in, and a couple of the nearby gangs had run into each other that had been having some issues, and they were about ready to just kill each other. We had probably like 20 people there that were all just ready to go at it. We had to call the police on them. We had like 6 or 8 cop cars all show up.
You were in the middle of this fight. What is your role in this video?
Sorry, I guess I'll back up a little bit. So I guess I was a manager on duty at the time. So
Oh, you were working there.
I was working, yes. So I'm working, highest manager in the building. So these guys we hear them screaming, yelling at each other, chasing each other down the aisles. I don't know what their past history exactly was, but I had heard it wasn't great. But they were screaming, yelling, holding each other back, and like the police showed up, and they know when we call and say, hey, there's some gangs here ready to go at it. They're in like their full gear and everything, coming in grabbing these guys up. It was crazy.
And so you make a cameo appearance in this
video. Real short, and like the camera starts out and I'm there like right in the middle, and then it pans away and then it comes back, and then by then like one of the other girls is like pulling me back, like, Anthony, we just need to get out of here and let them do whatever they're going to do, because we're not about to get ourselves knifed here, get caught up in the middle of all of this.
Was this a successful video?
It's got like 6.7 million views. I'll have to post it on my Instagram for you guys.
You have to post it on your Instagram so we can all see. I'm kind of scared now. Wait a minute. I don't know if Mary typed this at the same time I was saying it. It had to be skin tone leggings and a crop top. Like, I swear, gosh. She and I share a brain or something. Yeah, everyone's like, wow, scary stuff. That is not the debut I was thinking.
Yeah.
Chunk Monkey's here. Hey, Rob. Wow, that's nuts. I saw Jan Good had a question for you while I was scrolling through. And if anyone else had a question and I missed it, let me know. But I scrolled to the bottom and I'm all caught up because I don't want to miss what you guys are saying tonight, because out of respect for everyone, I want to share whatever questions they have. Jan wanted to know what items you like to source. What's your favorite stuff to source?
I mean, obviously my favorite thing, I guess, is Lego. I mean, we grew up playing with Legos. Tons of them. I have all of my sets from when I was a kid. We actually gave them to my son.
Really?
Like all of my stuff from when I was a kid. And we gave it to my son like on his like 10th or 11th birthday, and he was just in heaven. Now I'm kind of regretting it. I'm like, that could all still be mine. I could be listing it on eBay. But
if I have mine, like anything like that from my childhood, there's not a chance I would list it online. You could sell that stuff if you still had it.
I mean, my son has it. It's technically like his now because we gave it to him for his birthday. But it's all still here. It's all still in the house. I don't think I'd ever really sell any of my old stuff.
I'm like so sentimental about some stuff. One of my sisters makes fun of me. She's like, you have everything from our childhood. Christopher said after that story, there's not a chance I will ever go to Walmart.
Probably not worth it. I had to move on from Walmart for a reason. So
dang. Mrs. Frugal Trash to Cash says, Anthony's the kindest person. I was only one sale away from having $1,000 sale day, and he purchased something from me just to make my goal. I feel like I remember that whenever she posted on Instagram that she was one sale away.
Yep. I messaged her and I was like, you better post that link to your store so your followers can get it. And then I just went to her store and I was like, let me see. It was leading up to Christmas time. Let me see if there's something in the store I can get my kids for Christmas. And I got my daughter Don't Wake Daddy, the board game.
Nice.
And she just loved it. We played it like half of the morning, Christmas morning.
That would be a fun game. Misha is here. Hello, Misha. They said Chrissy had a question a little ways back. So let me see if I can go back and see what Chrissy's. Yeah, I'm gonna miss. I don't see it. Will you ask again, please? And April said Della's killing it. Oh, okay. Here it is. My question for Anthony. Do you have a reseller bucket list? Anything that you just absolutely want to find and source?
Oh, man. I had one probably at the beginning of the year. I had Cutco knives on my bucket list, and I actually found those last January. Like I had just seen them, heard about them, and then like a month or two later, like here they are.
I've never found any.
I paid like, I don't know, $8 for 5 of them.
I feel like after I saw Profit Monster's story about how they're like guaranteed for life and they'll constantly resharpen them, if I find them, I'll probably keep them.
Right. I mean, I don't know what it is. Like, I find like some of these really good items, like the Cutco knives, and it's almost like I don't want to list them. Like, do I deserve like $500 worth of knives? Do I deserve, like, how did this happen to me that I get this stuff? And it's just like, I don't know. Something makes it hard to list some of that stuff. But with the knives, they're like super dull. So I really need to get around to sending them in, and then I can get them listed. And that's been getting put off and put off.
That's wild to me that you could just send them in and they'll sharpen them and take care and spruce them up, and then you can list them like practically new.
I've seen them. They list them basically as just new other, and then in the description, factory refurbished.
That's nuts. Accidental Time Traveler says, have all my parents' stuff, my kids' stuff, my grandkids' stuff, and all my life. Accidental hoarder.
That's
Southside Walmart versus East Side.
Gosh.
Oh, Christy found the knife sharpener, which apparently you don't really need. So yeah. And a Cutco wood block. So do you?
I have seen those sell for money. I mean, not as much as the knife, but the blocks sell.
Do you sell much clothing at all?
Oh, I hate clothes. I just cannot.
I feel like I always see you picking up more like hard goods, or you source a lot of fun stuff, which I feel like if you are doing this as like a side hustle or part-time, you're allowed to get more of like just what you want, versus like I might need to pick up more items because I gotta pay the bills with it. Like, cause you do a lot of video games and stuff too.
When I can find them, I definitely enjoy the fun stuff more. I mean, why not? Like you said, it's part-time. It is not, my primary income or anything like that. It definitely, makes that difference on us making it to the end of the month with no kind of issues. But really, I mean, I'm here for the fun stuff.
Yeah. And like Crocodile Hunter, right?
Oh yeah. He's sitting on the shelf. A Crocodile Hunter remote control car was one of the last big kind of ticket items. Hasn't sold yet, but it sells for like $200 if it's working. Mine's not even working.
So like me with Barbie and Lego and stuff, you love Crocodile Hunter. That's your thing, right?
I mean, I found it. I researched it. It was there. It happened. So
for some reason, I was thinking that you were a huge fan of the show.
Who is it? Somebody that was on your show recently is the Crocodile Hunter fan. Oh, what is it? I'm trying to remember
who it was. I was thinking that it was you.
10th Street Market.
Trevor is a huge that's right, because we were talking about the stuff that you had, but that's right. Okay. Melanie wants to know if you have any return horror stories. First of all, do you accept free returns?
I do not do free returns.
Okay.
I usually, have it all set up as no returns.
Me too. I'm stingy like that.
I don't know that I've really had a whole lot of returns. I think really one of the only returns I've ever had to deal with was a Mario Kart on the Wii that I sent with the Wii wheel, like with the little controller.
Okay.
And I shipped it media mail, and they just kept it at the post office, and I kept looking and it wasn't delivered. And then I don't remember if I had to call or what, but it got shipped back to me like postage due, and they just dropped it back off of my house. I didn't have to like pay anything extra to get it back or anything. But
how do you think they knew? Did they open it?
I mean, they probably had to open it. I don't know. I looked up their address like on Google Maps or Earth or whatever, and like it didn't even look like there was a house at the address it was supposed to go to. So I don't know if that had caused issues, but like if you shook it, you could tell that there was probably something in there besides just media mail. It wasn't heavy, but it was in a box, so that's probably how they snagged it. But that's probably the worst.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, I've seen people mail shoes media mail and not get caught, but you get snagged for a video game. That's interesting. Chuck Backrow Bitter is here. Hey, Chuck. And Angie is here. Hey, Angie. I saw her earlier in there, and I didn't click on every name, but hello, Angie. Doreen Finch is here also. You guys are awesome for hanging out with us on a Thursday night. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, yeah, here's Trevor. Crocodile Hunter is my jam. Sue is here. Hey, you're not very late tonight, Sue. Not very late at all. Let's see here. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, be sure to drop them for sure. But so how have your sales been like after Christmas in comparison with that, fourth quarter madness leading up to Christmas?
I mean, the fourth quarter was definitely crazy. If I hadn't done like that, as close as I could get to 24-hour listing challenge and really like built up my listings right before fourth quarter started, like I'd have been in trouble. Because Kroger has been really good about not working us a whole bunch of extra hours and stuff, but I mean, it's still super busy in the store. It's still holiday time. You've got, people in there busy all day long, asking questions, needing help, kind of draining your energy, always needing stuff from you. So, I get home and it's like, I don't want to go list, and then I go to bed and I want to sleep in. So I didn't get a whole lot of listing done during Christmas time. And I didn't even really pick back up listing until like a week or two ago, like really listing like I should. So my sales kind of dropped off after the holiday. And now that I'm listing consistently again, I can just see it like starting to spike back up on the graph.
Yeah. You did, like, for those of you who aren't aware, when I did my 24-hour like listing on eBay for 24 hours straight, Anthony was like, you know what? I'm inspired. I think I'm going to do like my own version of this. So tell him how yours went.
It went good. It was definitely a challenge. It was definitely tiring. Probably by the time it was all said and done, I got up early. Like I'm not a morning person. I don't normally get up early, but I got up early to start because I'm like, I need to get going, get done. My kids are going to be inside doing school. They're going to want to see me at some point. So let me get going so I can get these listings up. And I listed all morning, and then I had to pack my stuff that had sold the day before. So I stopped and packed that stuff up, had to run to the post office, get my break, got lunch, came back and just started hammering out listings again. I think I got 80 listings done that day.
Jeez.
It was definitely a record. And I mean, it's nice to do something like that to where you just like push yourself to where it's like, okay, here's kind of my breaking point, or here's where, here's what's going to slow my business down.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're only listing 3, 4, 5 items a day, you're really not getting to that point where you see, okay, here's the issues in my business that I need to kind of tighten up where I can continue to grow.
That's true. And I mean, it's an awesome way in one day to get rid of an accumulated death pile. Like, people say, I want to work on my death pile. If you truly do want to work on it, give it 24 hours and really dedicate the time to that. And you'd be surprised, even if you don't do the whole 24 hours. Because, like, of course, just spending time with your kids, like, how many hours did you say that you listed for?
Oh, it was 10 or 12 hours.
And was able to accomplish that much in that amount of time. Like, if you guys dedicated let's imagine a full 8-hour day, 9 hours, 10 hours, you could really kind of kill a death pile. Accidental time traveler Maggie said, Rachel, you got me hooked on Coach bags and restoring them. I added to my collection of hoarding. There's been a connection between me and my daughter. Aw, I love that. That's awesome. I recently bought some Gucci and Louis Vuitton and stuff that I'm going to be doing some restoration on and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be bringing them to Whatnot. I have a little bit of a hard time selling my vintage Coach, but I'll see if I can add some of those in. Also, I saw that Chrissy Collins on the Move asked a question, and she wanted to know, what is your favorite thing that you've picked up this year, or maybe last year, over the whole haul of last year? What is like your best pickup?
My best pickup was probably the nativity set. I picked up a nativity set. Like I posted it. You may have seen it go by, but
the enormous
this huge nativity set.
Once. It was so big. Tell them how big it was.
Oh geez, it was the tallest wise man was like 14 inches tall, and it came with palm trees, and it came with like this little like kind of wall manger that went behind it, and I paid I think $40 for it at Goodwill, like probably October timeframe, and I listed it local pickup only because I was not about to ship this monster. This box probably is 2.5 feet tall, and then like I don't know, probably 12 or 14 inches wide.
Wow!
It weighed I think 60 pounds when I was done packing it.
Holy cow!
So the lady. I'm on the East Coast now. The person who bought it is in California, and they bought it, paid full price, and I'm looking at it like I cannot believe this thing sold. It's a week before Christmas, and I get a message on eBay. So sorry, I didn't see that this was local pickup only. Is there a way to still get it shipped? What can I do here? And I'm like, this is my only chance to sell this thing. It's a week before Christmas.
You're right.
Nobody else is buying this thing. Nobody else is going to be looking for this thing after Christmas. So I'm like, all right, got to do it. So I get on Pirate Ship to put in her address to see how much it's going to cost to ship this thing. I even underestimated it a little bit. It was way more than $30. FedEx, just saying.
Was it really?
It ended up being almost $100 to ship this thing.
It's supposed to be $27 via FedEx. You did something wrong, but go ahead.
So $100, but it ended up selling for $635.
Oh
so after eBay fees, after the cost of that, after the $100 shipping, I think it was a $400 profit. So that was probably that was my best sale ever.
Wow.
Probably one of my favorite sales. I found pretty early on when I started reselling was some vintage skateboards from like the 60s, and it was just like a piece of wood like cut out in a skateboard shape with like roller skate wheels for wheels, like metal roller skate wheels. And those, it was two of them, and I sold them. It was like 200. I wrote it down. I made some notes before we came on, but I sold it for like $235. And that was like my first big sale. And I sold that and like 2 or 3 other things. And like, I just remember walking into the post office with like my $200 package and like my 5 other packages, like just feeling like a boss with all of my stuff. And it's like,
you were like, I basically own the whole block now.
Basically.
I saw, first of all, Joey Bada Bing is here to check you out. He said, "This is Anthony, the man, the myth, the legend." That's why he really
been hanging out on Joey's lives for a long time.
Yeah, so he had to come check you out. And then Christopher said that he showed your store some love.
Did he?
And he likes the items that are in your store. So you're like me. You keep the ditching on vibrate or on silent?
I put my phone on silent for this, but normally just because of work chat messages and stuff, I just keep it on silent almost all the time. It's just too much.
I saw that Kristen
Thank you, Chris.
Driving while she's or listening while she's driving. Rural Squirrel is listening in. She's driving across the whole country today.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Joey is feeling better, you guys. I saw that. Well, that's awesome. That you're always in I mean, from as far back as I have ever been in Joey, when him and Drew were doing the chat together, you were always in there. Let's see. Really like to do the 24-hour listing sometime. You should do it. Yeah, kill the death pile.
It's worth it. I had a terrible headache. My eyes were killing me afterwards, but it was worth it.
I'm telling you, like, do you ever feel like you have to get the blue light glasses and just, I mean, I get a lot of eye fatigue between, like, I have 2 different lights on me now for this. And then, you know, like on Tuesdays last Thursday had the podcast. I edited all day and then I had my live. By the end of the night, my eyes were just like swollen and puffy. Do you get that type of eye fatigue staring at the computer all day?
Not so much. I mean, my normal day-to-day at work, I'm running around, filling up features, filling up shelves, making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to around the store. And then I'll get home and try to get some listings done, but usually not a whole lot of staring at screens while I'm at work.
I guess so.
I've got that. Stay pretty active doing that.
A lot more people interaction. Mary, I love this. It says, I had to talk with myself today that I am worth achieving the goals I set for myself. That's all I needed to hear. I saw that on your Instagram, Mary, and I absolutely love it. That's awesome. Yeah, Christy did 8-hour listing challenge. That's about as long as I could do. That's a long time. I mean, truthfully, guys, like we set small goals, like let's do 5 a day or 10 a day. But if you just took 1 day a week, imagine if every week you had 1 day where you were just like, I'm going to shut the door. Don't bother me for 8 hours. I'm at work. Even if you just did 1 day a week, like I feel like that could grow all of our stores, don't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've really just tried to stay consistent. Like I said, just 5 a day. I've got my Studs of the Reselling community calendar hanging up on my wall here, and every day I write up how many listings I got up, and I post it on Instagram.
It's a good way to use the calendar. I think I'm going to steal that
Joey.
He was probably like, yeah, Joey, I stay about as far behind in the chat as you do, buddy.
But I mean, that's part of just, you know, some of that's just keep myself accountable to get my listings up. Like there's days I'll get home from work and I'm like, I didn't get my listings done this morning. I lost an item the other day. So I spent my whole morning looking for my lost item. I was going to list that morning and didn't. I get home and I'm like, I got to get my listings up. So I get home from work 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, and I go out and I get some listings done.
Do you remember this? When Joey used to sing the Island Boy.
Oh my God. Yes.
It's Monday Night Live. Good times. Dude, listen, is anyone else aggravated that eBay forces you to use FedEx for sneakers? Well, it's $14. So, depending on where you are in the country, some people may be glad about it, to be honest with you. I'm in the middle part of the country, so I could ship them cheaper than that. But I get it. They're wanting to cover because they have to then ship also from their headquarters on. Does it bother you?
Just don't sell shoes, Keith. That's all there is to it.
Just don't sell shoes. Melanie Scott, I know this is Israel's rainbow heart. I just love it so much. My 6-year-old just loves rainbows. He's obsessed. Katrina's here. Hello, Katrina. Let's see here. eBay doesn't force me to use FedEx. Yeah, if you're going to go through the eBay authentication, that's what he's talking about. Coco's here. Sorry I'm late. I'm here. So, Anthony, besides myself, you don't have to say me first, but who are some of your favorite resellers to follow? I know there's a lot of people in the chat, but just truthfully, who are the people that you're like checking in on? You know, sometimes there's certain people that are checking on for motivation, and there's some certain people that check in on like for bolos. Like, who are you following that you can't get enough of in the reselling community?
I follow everybody I can on Instagram. I try to click through as much of people's stuff as I can, see what they're finding, see what they're selling. On YouTube, probably one of my few, like, I'm not going to miss is Commonwealth Picker. I can't keep up on all his picker videos, but I watch all of his flipper videos, all of his, like, in the cabin, showing what he sold and doing his lessons and stuff. He's probably one of my favorites at this point.
Yeah, I enjoy flipper style videos way more than picker style too. I'm not the type that enjoys watching like shopping or the sourcing part of it. I know that so many people do, so I've been trying to put my own spin on those videos and put them out lately. But I'm with you. I want the education part of it to see like how much did you actually flip it for?
I just can't watch like the picking shopping videos. Like I watch most people on YouTube at 2 times speed. So to sit there and watch like someone shop, it's just not like fast enough. I'm like just sitting there like waiting.
Yeah, when you only have so much time, for sure. Drew said the only thing I want inflated are my tires and my eco, because they're talking about how expensive eggs are right now. People that aren't already part-time resellers need a side hustle like this just to afford the eggs. Maybe that would be like a good title for a video, how to afford eggs in 2023, and then just be basically an introduction to reselling or something. I feel like
definitely sounds like a plan.
Good work. Do you ever see yourself putting out YouTube content for reselling?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I could. The options, I guess, are always there. But I don't know. Right now, it seems like a lot of my time is preoccupied with, work and help with the kids and trying to get just my normal, like, day-to-day listing and stuff done. So I don't know. I feel like I probably don't have time to really start on YouTube also.
It's a major time suck, I'm telling you. It really is.
And then taking the time to record, taking the time to edit, like I don't have a clue how to do video editing.
Is a absolute full day. Keith just was talking about this, about it taking like days to edit. And he dropped this video about like, does Satan's taste like Satan?
that video I watched the premiere when they did it the other day, and it was good.
What kind of life are you living where you can feasibly be left alone for 8 hours? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. Well, if it was a weekend, which I would feel like a certain level of mom guilt for that. But if it was a weekend, I could absolutely be like, Drew, like, you got the kids all day. And my husband's like a rock star like that. If I need to do something, like, I know a lot of moms in real life and online who can't like go live their life or work or whatever they need to do without like finding someone other than their husband to take care of the kids. And that just blows my mind. That blows my mind because it should never be like that. But yeah, if Drew has to go work on the weekend or if I have to go work, we make that work, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, vegetarian, and I love it, so I'll give real feedback. I sent him that recipe, and truth be told, I hadn't made that, but it looked really good, and I'm like, if he made it look that good, I feel like I could probably do it.
I just remember like watching him. He's got like all this stuff out on his counter, and he's like 7-ingredient recipe, and I'm looking at how much stuff he's got, and I'm like, how? It's not quite 7 ingredients, but we're gonna watch and see how it works anyway.
I
I
remember
mean, he made it look good.
one of the recipes that I sent him, he was supposed to get maple syrup, and he got like Mrs. Buttersworth or something. I was like, no, like real maple syrup, like 100% natural. Chopper Carson, hello and welcome. Sometimes it's easier to list items within the same listing category. Absolutely. Yeah. Like whenever I was getting really, really close to the goal that I had, and I brought out like a stack of like, what was it, 20 or 30 photos and just went through all of them really quickly.
Oh yeah, I definitely felt like I would have been cheating to just bust out the minifigures and just start going to town. But I could probably, I probably get a ton of those up pretty quick.
Do you, is there, like any how to list really quickly tips that you have that you've learned, the hard way?
I mean, I do it all in the app. Like I don't like take pictures and then go back later and like make my listing and put all the listings in. I do it all like I've really tried to like set myself up with like a good system, good process in place to get everything done here quick and efficient. So like I'll bring it up in the app. I will do my whole listing in the app. I'll take all my pictures right there in the app and put in my customs queue, put it away. And I'm completely done with that item. It's done. It's gone. It's in its tote. It's in its bin. It's wherever it belongs. I just try to keep it going there that way.
Work with the one thing that's in front of you, one thing at a time. Sometimes that is how we get overwhelmed, just trying to do too much, at once.
I mean, I built the desk that I work on. I went and found like lights that I really liked for my setup, got all that set up correctly so that it all kind of just flows. I've got a good system now where it works where, in the past, I started out listing in my laundry room floor with just the lights that are in the room. And so I like look at some of my old listings and it's like, there's the floor. And I didn't like, it's like the nice kind of gray floor and then the white door behind it. And I mean
that works. Like, I mean, I have like an all white background and everything that I'll use, but sometimes, like here lately, when I've been trying to list my items as soon as I bring them in, there's 100 really aesthetic places in my living room that I can just prop an item up, and I'm like, that looks good,
I saw when I was doing the comps for that Crocodile Hunter truck, like it's like a picture on the guy's like, coffee table in his living room and like his TV's in the background and it's sold.
I mean, so like sometimes I think we overcomplicate it. Suze, I'm sure someone probably already answered this for you, but if that item showed delivered, your responsibility is done. Like you can't combat porch pirates. It could be that someone's trying to scam you, or it could be that someone stole the item from them. But as long as tracking shows that they received it, I would tell them to ask their local post office, because when an item is scanned as delivered, there's GPS that goes along with that. And I've had items showed as delivered at my house that I didn't get, and the post office was able to show that she's like, I don't know, half a mile up the street when she delivered it. So they had to go back and get it from there and bring it back to me. So you may ask them, hey, reach out to your local post office and see if they can GPS track where it was scanned delivered. That would be my only advice, outside of fortunately being able to tell you that you're in the clear. If it shows delivered, there's nothing else you could have done.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had to deal with like I said, a lot of returns and a lot of issues like that, but usually you upload the tracking to eBay to prove that it was showed that it was delivered, and that'll be the end of it.
My husband sometimes just posts things in the chat, and later I will say, what were you talking about? And he's like, it was about da 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 da. And see, this is a perfect example of, honey, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Gosh.
So you do most of your work from the shed that you're in now? This is
I'm in my garage, but yeah, I do all of my work out here now.
Gotcha. Well, that's pretty. I mean, a garage, that's a big space to be able to resell out of.
Yeah, 2-car garage, so plenty of room. I was on vacation last week, so I spent a lot of time kind of getting my last stuff in place. I built a second set of shelves, and I got internet out here. I finally I bought a little like wireless access point and crawled under my house the other night, ran a wire out here so that I can have internet. I mean, for a long time, I have to leave the door open. I'd have to like kind of get a signal, then I have to go walk out the door to get my pictures to upload, and then I have to come back, and that's
the worst. I remember when we had like really slow internet like the days before I even did the live show, because that's what kept me from doing the live for a while. And I could load one picture and then do something else and come back and then load one picture. Like it was that devastatingly slow. Even to upload YouTube videos, I would have to go to Walmart and use their Wi-Fi and
Oh,
upload it
wow.
from my phone. Like I feel you on that. Suze, yeah, if they left you a negative feedback, like I don't think they're going to. I think if they want a refund, they might be just trying to scam you. You've already done your part in sending the tracking info. I wouldn't even talk to them again outside of telling them to reach out to their post office. But if they do give you a negative feedback and it's like an erroneous feedback or it sounds like extortion, or if they've said I'm going to leave you negative feedback, like let me know. And if they leave you negative, reach out to me on Instagram about it, because I just recently I had 3 negatives and one like 3.5-minute phone call. I got all 3 of them removed. So I can help you out there, Suze. After seeing you, you'd be great on YouTube and not just in Walmart fight videos.
Yeah.
Look who it is. Flip spines and fun. Josh, how's it going, man? He had an interesting storage locker video come out lately or recently. Do you ever do any storage? I know you said mainly thrift stores, but have you considered a storage locker?
I have. I actually was looking at storage locker, whatever the website is, the other day, just trying to kind of get a feel for that. I watch actually. I don't know if you've seen Jeebus. He does all the storage units.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting.
He lives like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes away.
Do you get to go to their dollar yard sales?
I have tried multiple times to wake up early enough to go, and I have just never made it. So I will make it to the next one, and I will.
You've got to. You might be in another cops video because they get the cops called on them a lot.
So I've thought about doing storage units. We actually had my mother-in-law, one of her friends moved to somewhere and just like gave her a storage unit and all her stuff. And so she's brought a lot of that over, and I've sold some of it. She's done whatever she wants to do with what she's got, but she definitely brought enough over for us to make a little bit off of. So, nice. I mean, some people do some really cool stuff with storage units. I think I would try getting into that. Once I get through this massive pile behind me, I may start looking at more into storage units.
So does that mean you do have a little bit of a death pile then?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Are you still going like daily to the thrift store right now?
Maybe.
Oh man, like I've been taking you guys along first in line Fridays at the thrift, and that's the only thrift trip I make all week. And then like I went to the auction week before last and an estate sale week. So I'll go to the thrift store one time a week, and then if there's a special event on the weekend, I go one day. That's it.
I haven't been going as much. I've been trying to work through my pile, but when I do go, I've like really tried to make it a point to whatever I buy, I list it that day. And that has really helped me to like not buy as much junk that needs work, because it's like I'll look at it and go, I'm not going to be able to list this today. I've got to clean it. I've got to test it. I've got to do this or that or whatever. And it just stays there. Unless it's, really a home run, I'm not going to buy, an item that's going to flip for 20 or 30 bucks that I have to spend, whatever kind of time dealing with it, where it's just going to sit here in a pile on my floor.
Yeah. Katrina said, I'm having a difficult time creating a space to photograph clothes. No white walls in my house except the bathroom. Katrina, Christy Mom's Closet Texas has an amazing bathroom setup. Like Christy, I don't know if you have that actually saved on your Instagram somewhere, but she walks you through her whole bathroom. That's where she takes all of her pictures. There's no shame in that game. There's a spot in her shower even where she hangs stuff up to photograph. Like you can resell from anywhere, right? So many of my son's video games are just the pictures are taken on his bedroom floor. And I keep trying to get him more and more into eBay and not just Whatnot, because I'm like, the days where you're not selling stuff on Whatnot, you can still be here in Cha-Ching's and you're still making money. And you did that work weeks ago,
Oh, yeah. I really, when you first start and you're just selling a couple of things here and there, it feels good. But like once you really kind of build up a store and have a lot of stuff listed where it's like, you kind of start getting those constant sales coming through, it's like a whole nother level.
So you seem like you built the desk that you have now, and you just recently built the shelves for your inventory, right?
Yes.
So when are you finding time to do all that outside of working a full-time job, raising 3 kids, being a husband, and then reselling and going to the thrift store all the time? Like, is building and working with your hands, like, is that a passion of yours too?
I mean, it's something I guess I'm okay at. I feel like I'm okay at it. I do good enough to get my stuff built, but if I see something that I need and it's like, man, I want, a good I wanted a tall workbench and I just couldn't find one. And I'm like, I can build stuff. And I
Nice.
built it myself for a lot less than it would cost to go buy one. Same thing for the shelves. I wanted my shelves a certain way. So, I was looking online. It was like $300 to buy like the big steel warehouse shelves. And I've got some boards that I can return, but I think I spent $120 on all the materials to build my own.
Lumber's really come down a lot since last year, hasn't it?
Yes. Yes, it has.
Drew said that your 2x4s were still quite a bit more than ours are.
Yep, I was showing it off to Drew. I was talking to him about it. He said they were only like $2 or $3 for 2x4s. I paid, I think, $7 a piece for them.
That's nuts. That just the location can make such an amazing difference. Because can you imagine what it must cost to build a house there versus what it costs to build the same house here?
And they're building, this area is like super busy. They're building all kinds of stuff in this area, so it's constantly just expanding out from the city, building more and more suburbs.
What major city are you near?
Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Drew's making fun. He said, no, you just talk too fast and leave the conversation so far back, Rachel. That's true. I do. I'm sorry. Fastest chat in the West right here, guys. I try to catch up. I really do. Yeah, you guys, let me know if you have any questions for Anthony. We are absolutely going to be playing the drawing game tonight. Don't think that we are not doing that. Amanda said, I filed my taxes today, hoping the 1099 from eBay isn't far off from the report eBay generates. It should be the same, right?
I mean, as far as I've seen, I've never really looked that hard, but I would imagine, they're pulling that data from the same place.
Oh, are you saying that you just used your report and you didn't wait for the 1099? I think that maybe that's what she's saying. Oh, she's just okay. Yeah, I hope it's not far off. I hope everything is on there. Wait, Josh said, what? Anthony Jeebus lives 20 minutes from me. Where are you located? We just kind of answered that. So maybe you and Josh are pretty close to each other.
I'm in Midlothian, right near 288 in the Midlothian Turnpike, if I'm going to give all my business out there. But I'll have to find you on Instagram, or you can shoot me a message. You might have me. I don't know. I try to follow everybody I see.
Daisies and Doodles said, this is my first chat. I just want to say hi. I'm friends with Trevor and Lindsay. Oh, man, if you're friends with them, you're welcome here. We like them quite a bit. Kristen, are you Kristen, Daisies and Doodles? Always at the $1 yard sale and got up at 3 a.m. to help them set it all up.
Wow.
I guess KT Treasures is pretty close too.
I guess.
It's amazing how many people in this community are so close to each other. And I mean, like Dixon's Pickens is close to me. And I really feel like that's it. Well, Fatbird Finds, they live an hour and a half from me. I go estate selling where they live sometimes, but that's about it.
I actually had seen a guy that I used to work with at Walmart in one of his videos. And I was like, hey, I saw you're YouTube famous. And he was like, yeah, that's my brother-in-law. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that makes sense then.
Oh, in Jeebus's video?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Here's a question for you. Have you ever done a private pick?
I have not. I don't think so. No.
That's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of pressure there. And I've learned from doing private picks that they don't see the value in something until you pick it up, and like out of respect for the situation, because you want to be like, okay, this is probably their loved one's house or something like that. So you're like, oh, this is fantastic. Can you, tell me a story about this? And you kind of want the stories behind it too. The more you do that, the less stuff you're walking out of there with, because suddenly like they fall back in love with all of it. And then they don't want to sell you anything. And so, yeah, that's pretty awful.
Yep. I've been to a couple of, regular estate sales around here, and it's usually the companies that run them, and everything is always, priced up pretty high from the companies that do it in this area.
Hey, bike contest. Ryan said same here. He's cut back. Got to get through the death pile. Yeah. So the companies, do they price pretty high where you're at for estate sales?
Yeah, I've not had a whole lot of luck at the estate sales. Yard sales I do pretty good. Churchyard sales I do pretty good, but estate sales have not been so much.
Do you see that? Like, you wipe the tire marks off my back. Our stays as a pile in our house, the whole house. Really? That's so mean, isn't it?
I
I've
mean,
been doing such a good job to not leave it everywhere, and I even make reference to that in my videos all the time. I'm like, so that the family will actually want to live with me. Let me clean up in here. And look at this. Still says it's all over the house. Can you
yeah, I
believe that?
usually take over our laundry room, and you walk in and we're stepping over boxes and all the stuff I found. So my wife's glad to finally like have the garage set up right, and I mostly just take it and drop it off out here.
Does it ever take over some other rooms in your house other than the laundry room?
Our bedroom usually has, somebody's coming over. It's like all the stuff from the laundry room makes a quick run to the bedroom, and then the bedroom door shuts.
I feel like you're not a reseller unless
and
it
it just
spills
stays
over
there.
a little bit.
So there's definitely a little bit of the death pile hanging out on my bedroom floor as well.
Yeah, my son called me out today on that. He said, if you're a reseller, be prepared to have boxes all throughout your house and have clothes on your dining room table. He's not wrong. He's
Not at all. It just comes with the territory.
Yeah. Last weekend, I brought home half a mobile home worth of inventory. Oh yeah. See, that's why I can't go to the auction unless I take stuff to Whatnot. Like I had a couple Whatnots for the vintage decor because when I load up like the whole Bronco and bring that stuff home, I have to Whatnot it. Otherwise, it will live in our living room because we've had those like the 462 cookbooks. Guys, it was like past a month. They were still in our living room floor.
Man. Yeah, I've really started trying to avoid anything that's going to sit. I've got too much stuff that's sitting now that I need to get going on.
It's so bad. Josh is down in Prince George. That's right. I could not remember the name of the place. Yeah. Oh, 1099 is always a little bit off from your report. That's interesting. Let's see here. We are trying to convince Kristen to get into reselling more, but she's got a lot going on with her other job, maybe. What would you say to convince someone to get into reselling?
Oh man, what would I tell them to convince them? I don't know. I've been working on convincing my wife to get into some more reselling, and it's not working yet.
You need to talk to Adam Baldypal because he's recently got Paige like really invested in reselling.
But I don't know. I think probably would be to like help them like learn. Like when I talk to her, she's like, I don't know how to put in the weights and the measures, and I don't know what to do with shipping. So if you can like kind of take them through and teach them that process, that's probably going to be the best way to get someone into it and get somebody learning how to do it. Is to shipping's probably the biggest hurdle on eBay.
You're right. Like once someone gets past shipping, I feel like they feel a lot more confident about it. Look at this $4.99 super chat. First of all, thanks for buying me coffee while I'm Meals on Wheels tomorrow because that's what I'll use this for. Christopher said, just an FYI, I hope your art skills are up to par, Anthony, because whoever guesses the picture that you're going to draw tonight gets a credit of $150 in the store.
Wow.
So I get to do some shipping, $150 spent in the store, and someone's walking away with whatever merchandise they want. That is so awesome. Oh yeah, I hope you can draw well.
But I mean,
Thank you, Christopher.
I think I'll manage on that one. Hopefully it won't be so bad that nobody can win anything.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen like they always get it. And some of them I'm just like, how did you guys get that from those two squiggles and a square? I'm thinking of paying my taxes this year with DVDs and CDs. They're legal tender. I don't think so. Oh, my son's about to like bust down all the lights and trying to walk in here. Say hi.
Israel.
Hi.
How you doing, bud?
Good.
Your breath smells good like you just brushed your teeth with mint.
Yeah.
It smells nice. What do you have here? What's in your hand? Oh, a little Lego Mario here. He's a huge Lego fan. Are your kids as into Lego? I mean, I know you said you gave your kids your Lego. Are they as into it as you are?
They are all into it. My son, like I said, he's got all my sets on the shelves and stuff in his room, and he's using any money he gets for Lego. My daughter's the same way. They are like really into Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
And
really?
so they are buying all of the little Lord of the Rings figures. I wish I bought all those when they came out.
That's
Like,
expensive
like
too.
when they came out, that was like right at the age where like I wasn't married yet, like was still living with mom and dad. Like I had, fun money I could have been buying Legos with. I don't know what I was spending it on. I wasn't saving it, but
Yeah, and Lego, like I don't
way up.
they're not depreciating. Like they
Oh
hold
no,
their value really, really well. I know people that aren't like adult fans of Lego don't necessarily understand that. Maybe resellers do, but I feel like a lot of people just get rid of them. That's how they end up in the thrift store. They have no idea that
right.
those things are worth what you paid for them or more.
It's crazy, but my kids are doing stop motion videos of Lord of the Rings. Like they have recorded the movie audio and then they turn around and like make a stop motion with their videos of the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. So they're like trying to order all of the little hobbits to be able to do, and all the dwarves to be able to do the movies. Like they have done, I have to post some of them. They have done a ton of that stuff.
You need to post some of them for
So
sure.
like some of those hobbits are like $25 on the low end. You're talking 30 or $40 for some of those figures or more.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
they're trying to like save up every penny to order the next dwarf for their video.
Were you coming down here to tell me good night?
Yeah, but I need to guys tell him something.
You can tell him something.
Go ahead.
Today I got Slytherin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He got the little snake-like app called Slithero on the tablet. It's kind of like Snake from back in our day, if you remember that. Good night. I love you.
Night.
Watch that cord. Don't bring down the house there.
Good night, Israel.
He said good night.
Why is it like right here?
I'm sorry. I had nowhere else to put that light. Did you hear that deep sigh? So like of all the Lego sets though, they're into Lord of the Rings. Like Della loves Star Wars. I love Lego City stuff. What genre are you so into?
Oh man, growing up definitely was pirates and then a little bit of knights, but I was big into the pirates.
I got a bunch of vintage pirates recently.
Wow. I remember having like, I don't know, it was one of the smaller pirate ships and I'd lost the instructions for it. And like I'm one where I like build my set and I have my set. I don't break it all up and build other stuff. So that's why all of my sets are still together. But I remember like it went missing one day. I'm like, where's my pirate ship? I'm asking my brother. He doesn't know. Asking my mom. They're not able to figure it out. And like, I don't know, a week later, we're doing something. I look under the couch and here's my pirate ship all broken to pieces. My brother had gotten it and was playing with it and had torn it all to pieces and then hid it under the couch. Like he's 2 years younger than me. Oh man, I was so mad.
Did you still have the book? Were you able to put it back together?
I didn't have the book, so I still have the hull, and I built like it back as best I could myself, and I still have what I built out of it. But I'm not happy with the build my own. I really like having the sets.
Yeah, I like free play with Lego, but I really like the sets. Drew has a terrible idea here. What would happen if someone made a video melting down all the way? You would definitely get a lot of comments.
Oh, I'm sure.
They wouldn't be good. They would not be good. Thank you guys for saying hi and bye to Israel. He's so sweet. He does have a good smile. He is still missing all 4 of those front teeth, though. I'll have to ask him this later. If they live by the bay, they'd be called bagels. I'll ask him that later and see if he knows. Yeah, you would get a lot of interest. Have you got to check out Drew's channel yet, since you do like building and working with your hands?
I have seen some of it. I don't think I watched his latest. I saw like the one where he's like flipping the big switch over. I haven't looked at that one yet, but I know like I messaged him. I was having some electrical problems. I'm like, Drew, what is going on here? Is there any way you could talk me through what's going on?
Let me show you. I have to show you the one where he's hanging on the switch. We went outside in the snow and he said, I got the perfect place, because we were trying to find somewhere where he could actually hang on something. We could take the picture. And I suggested the swing set because, that's barely off the ground. No, this man goes and gets like a 12-foot ladder and climbs up onto this little nub. This little nub on the tree, and he's hanging on the side.
Gotta go big.
Do what?
I said he's got to go big.
Yeah, that's what he was like. Go big or go home. So, guys, that video, he was literally hanging 12 feet up in the air on a tree on just this little nub. Okay. A Lego versus Transformer stop motion movie would be fun to see. Didn't you guys do some type of a stop motion that you shared on?
So it was kind of done as a joke, but when eBay came out with the 24 pictures instead of 12,
That was
I did
it.
my 24 pictures as a stop motion. I was like, great, eBay added stop motion to their listings.
Did you actually post it like that in your listing?
Yes, I did.
I hope someone clicked through it and just
I hope somebody's
appreciated
taken
it.
the time to click through it all.
Oh,
But it
man.
took me forever to do that. Like I texted Ray, I sent him a message, the Nashville Flippers, and I was like, what do you use for video editing? And he had sent me about CapCut like a long time before that. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to figure out CapCut. And I got in there and like put all my pictures together so that I could put that on Instagram as, we have 24 pictures now.
That was good. I remember that. Lori, Mama with the Camera, just got her cha-ching, guys. If you're new to the Thursday Night Live and you don't already know, hit that thumbs up. You're guaranteed a sale while you're watching this live, or I'll refund the purchase price of admission tonight. Why women live longer. Yeah, because we don't climb 12 feet up a tree for our thumbnail photos. That's right. That's right. Cha-ching, where's Scott? Yeah, I don't know where Scott is.
Had to get in and put in my like for the video. I did my cha-ching already.
You got to. I don't think I've sold it. I never have the cha-ching on. I made some really low offers. I think that was this morning over on eBay because I was kind of going through and there's a lot of stuff that's been listed for a long, long time. And I was like, you know what? What would I offer this for on Whatnot, for instance? And I started making real low offers. And I think I may start going through like some clothing that I've had. I mean, I have some clothing here I've had listed over a year. Don't you think it's time to get rid of that?
Yeah, definitely over a year.
I'm not going to like redonate it, so I have to liquidate it, right?
Right. I need to go ahead and sign up for a store. I can't even like run sales. I just have the basic store now. I run like, I don't know, 220 items on average active in my store.
You do need it at the very minimum a basic store. Scott just did a whole video about stores, and I was actually going to send it to my parents so that they could see like the different levels of stores because I felt like it was really in depth. He didn't go over like the anchor store and whatever the premium one or whatever because, as he said, like someone watching the video probably already knows about that, or they wouldn't be watching that video, is what he said. So anyway, he went over the basic ones though, and you should get a store.
Yeah, I think I'm at the point now where when I start renewing some listings here close to the end of the month, I end up getting that insertion fee. So I think it is time to go ahead and do that, especially now that I'm set up and I'm kind of cruising through listings to get my store built up. Pretty sure I'm going to start getting charged the extra fee where it'll be worth it to have the store instead.
Yeah, for sure. And then the ability to run those sales and everything. Christy said my store is on time away, so I don't get a sale tonight. Probably. Oh yeah, probably. Well, dang. And that's another thing. Or maybe someone said you can do time away mode now without a store. Can you without having a store?
Yeah, we've been able to do time away before.
Okay. Yeah, you couldn't. I remember when we took our Route 66 road trip, like when I had first started reselling, I just ended every single listing.
Oh man.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't even want to answer a single question. And I shut my entire store down. I don't think I had that many things listed. It was very like in reselling infancy for me.
Gotcha.
Patricia, hello. No cha-chings here today. None at all today. Go in there and make some low offers to people. Something just to get action in your store. I have 903 listings, so it's about time to clear some stuff out. See, that's how I feel. Like I got up to over 1,700 and I thought, oh, good, I'll be at 2,000 soon. And then I started looking around and I was like, I am busting this place at the seams. I don't think I have room for 2,000 plus all my YouTube stuff, my photography in here, my shipping station, like everything is in one bedroom. And I don't think I can really do more than 2,000. And then I thought, if I have 2,000 listed, that means 2,000 haven't sold. I want to get this stuff out of here.
Right. It's more about selling than holding on to.
Yes. And so a lot of people are like, how many listings? And they want that really high number, but I'd rather like my sales number be really high. So I've been trying to put some focus on why is the stuff that I have listed still listed? What am I doing wrong?
Right. Why isn't it selling? Am I priced too high? Am I charging too much for shipping, or my picture's terrible.
Is it just not desirable stuff? Because how many times you go into like Marshall's had a clearance and I bought all this stuff and nobody wanted it. And they didn't want it in Marshall's for $1.83. And then I bought it and put it up on eBay for $19. No one still wants it. You know what I mean?
Right. And
Like,
you don't do like a custom SKU or anything on your stuff either, right?
no.
Like, at what point can you not maintain that without it? Like, you're looking for 1,700 items for your stuff.
Yeah, I have, like I say, at the peak it was over 1,700, and I don't have a single like inventory number or SKU at all. But I have like all these totes right here. There's 16 totes on this shelf that's in front of me, and this one says kids clothes, dresses, jackets. So like there's 2 totes of dresses. If a women's dress sells, I've been through those so much, I know probably which tote it's in, but at the very most I have to look through 2 totes.
Gotcha.
So it's not really that bad because everything is organized by category. Like that shelf, all of my children's books are right there together. And then underneath it, every single cassette tape is right there together. So like I just go, whenever I list it, I put it up right in that exact spot where it goes. You know what I mean? Like
right
in your kitchen cabinets, you know where the black beans are because they're always right there.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then it also helps because I can open up like the tote of men's jeans and I'm thinking, do not buy another pair of men's jeans. This is overflowing. Or the dresses, I'm like, I only have 3 dresses. So you know like what you need to source more. Shop Girl is here. So I just hit the like button. I follow Anthony on Instagram and enjoy getting to know more about him here tonight. Well, that's the whole point and purpose. I'm glad that you guys are liking that.
Yeah, I'm glad. I see definitely a lot of familiar faces and names here of people that I've either follow or talked to on Instagram.
Dawn, Throwback Threads is here. Hello, Dawn. Sunshine Diana, first day in a long time with no sale. I heard a couple other people today saying no sale. You think eBay's doing something with their...
I didn't have any yesterday. I was kind of glad I didn't have to ship anything out today, but I've had now...
one-day shipping?
I do one-day shipping.
Dang. I mean, I'm telling you, sometimes the part-time resellers are better resellers. And I really do mean that because I'm like 2-day shipping. I don't want to do it but a lot of times I do still deliver, overnight shipping. It's just, it's like that Southwest approach, Southwest Airlines, you under promise and then over deliver.
Right.
And so like if you set the expectation a little bit lower, because if you go into my store, all my feedback is how quick the shipping is. And I have 2-day handling time, but I typically don't take the 2 days. I ship earlier. And so then they're like, oh, wow, it came faster than I expected. You know what I mean?
Right. I feel like people have gotten so used to ordering on Amazon where it's like, some stuff you can order on Amazon and you've got it at your house in 3 hours.
That's how my parents are where they're at. That's crazy.
So at a minimum, I mean, Prime will be at your house in 2 days if you're a Prime member and you order the Prime items. So that's kind of what I feel like we're competing with. So I'm just, people have gotten in the mindset of it's got to be here like tomorrow is when I'm wanting it and what they've kind of come to expect. So, we're trying to keep up.
Mrs. Frugal Trash to Cash, who I right here and now, I'm going to extend my invitation to come hang out on the show because that's probably long overdue. But this is a dream store model for me. She likes her sold number to be 100 to 200 more than her listed number.
Wow.
Like that would be a dream if that happened one time, let alone to maintain that all the time.
Right. I think I'm at like 50 more sold than listed.
Oh man, that's what I'm saying. Like you guys are killing it. That's great. Which I guess, well, it just depends on what you're selling. Because I'm thinking, no, I mean, if you're doing it full time, then you're gonna have a lot more listed. But that doesn't mean that your sold can't be more. It doesn't mean
really try to pay a lot of attention to the sell-through rate. I don't think people, especially when you're new getting into it, really look at that. But
you're
I mean,
right.
I'll buy something with a good sell-through rate to make $5. I'm not going to buy something, I'll still make $5, but if it's going to take me 3 months before it sells, I'm not waiting 3 months for $5.
You're right. Yeah. And that's probably why, like a lot of these clothes and these stale listings were, like you say, from the beginning of me sourcing, and I'm still holding on to them. And it's because just like what you said, I wasn't looking at sell-through rate. Yeah, Christy started doing whatnot just to get the stuff out of the house faster. I'm just saying that death pile behind you, Anthony.
What's that? Sorry, I was reading Keith's comment about the glow in my face.
Oh, that death pile behind you could be selling it on Whatnot like Christy is.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know that I have quite the right stuff for a Whatnot in my death pile, but maybe.
Never used to do a custom SKU, but I spent way too much time looking for things. I find a simple SKU makes it easy, but really is whatever works for your business. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Up on the SKUs, I've actually, a lot of my custom SKUs are stickers I've gotten from other resellers. So that's been kind of cool getting that collection going.
Nice. So you have a cool wall like Israel does. But it's on your drawers and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, clothes don't sell for me. However, if I don't have listings, I just keep listing clothes and my video games sales pick back up. Nice. Yeah, I need to go to 1-day shipping. I've had it on 3, but meaning to put it on 1 since I do it every day anyway. I just hate the pressure of saying 1 day because sometimes like life can get so busy. Do you ever find it difficult to ensure that you're shipping every single day?
Sometimes it might just mean I stay up late.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of a night owl anyway. I really don't like getting up early, but I'll stay up all night long. No problem.
You get a lot of extra hours because it's the cutoff for like the day's shipping is Pacific time. So you have like extra hours.
Yeah, there's been a few times where somebody will buy something like after I go to sleep and I got to be at work on the early shift that day and I wake up and I'm like, oh man. So I've either got to like get myself up out of bed right away and hope that it wasn't like a big item. And I will like do 2-day shipping like on something that's going to be big or awkward or heavy or glass where I need that extra time.
Yeah.
But most stuff I'm just automatic 1 day, next day shipping.
I sold something this week. It took me forever to package it up. It was like this huge, like at least this big piece of pottery, and it was flat. It was like chip and dip type of, you could do a charcuterie on it or something, but it was divided. And I mean, thick, extremely breakable, like the mattress pad was involved, styrofoam, cardboard, double boxing it, but everything had to be like handmade because of the really awkward size of the thing. I hope it makes it there. Well, I shipped it via FedEx and it only cost me $18.
Must be nice to me in the middle of the country.
It is.
Like Christmas time, it was costing me $17 to ship a 3-pound priority package to the West Coast.
How much?
$17 for a 3-pound package from East Coast to West Coast.
Holy cow.
I think the Christmas rates are finally gone, or the holiday rates finally dropped off, but I would have to switch and do UPS. And I think it saved me like $3 or $4. It was 13 or 14 to get to the East Coast.
A lot of people are talking about regional rate boxes and how they're no more now. But I will point out that Pirate Ship has even stated cubic rate is oftentimes cheaper than what regional rate A and B are. So if you want that cubic rate shipping, you can still go right into Pirate Ship. And recently I set it up to where it automatically pulls my eBay listings into there. Noelle Farm Girl Scavenger was on me forever to do that. And I finally did. And it was pretty simple, the last one that I needed to do, because everything was like pre-populated.
And that's where you've got to use like a polybag to do their cubic rates on there?
No, it's not boxed and bagged, though. That's different.
Gotcha.
So cubic rate is just going to go based off of, obviously USPS wants it to be less than a cubic foot. That's where you start to get extra charges. So if it's like half a cubic foot or it goes down to like a quarter, it can weigh more. It could be heavier, but it's such a small package. So it's like a cubic rate. Gotcha.
I've never had to deal too much with that. Usually, eBay, I don't know how to ship anything that heavy where I'm trying to search out cheaper rates like that.
Yeah.
Usually eBay's pretty good about what I feel like is reasonable.
Keith, I'll take my share of that. Just PayPal me. I sold a pair of Ziggy Soho boho beaded sandals from the bins today. $99.
Wow.
Our bins are $1.89 a pound. Wow. I need to remember Ziggy Soho. Huh. Doesn't seem like a brand I would have looked twice at.
I don't think so. Clothes is really not my thing, like we talked about. I do go to the bins every once in a while, but I never end up finding a whole lot there either. Like our Goodwill bins are just not that good.
You're close to a bins though?
Yeah, it's like 15, 20 minutes away.
Oh, well, maybe you just don't go often enough.
Maybe. I buy some of their stuff on their online auction website, and the pickup place is like right there. So whenever I'm there, I stop in, in the bins. They also have like their little electronics boutique where they sell their video games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to go in there, but they've just been doing lots online with that too. A lot of their stuff now that's good like that is just going online.
Nice.
So I'll get in the Goodwill bins and poke around a little bit, but I don't know. They get kind of crazy. Like some of the women in there will like grab the bin from the worker as they're pulling it out. I don't know. They don't do like complete change outs. Like they'll change out one bin at a time.
Yeah, that's how ours used to
coming
be.
out with the bin, and like the women will grab the bin and take it from the guys and walk it to where it's supposed to go. And while they're doing, they're like just throwing stuff in their basket. It is the craziest thing.
That's different. I wish you'd record that sometime for us, even if it's, just for your Instagram.
Yeah. They've got a big sign that says no cameras, no recording, because I think they don't want to see something like that. Last time I was in there was a police officer, so maybe it's chilled out some. But I don't know.
Really?
One of the recent times I went there, I'm standing in line ready to check out, and there's like, I don't know what the lady's saying. She's yelling at the cashier in another language. So I don't know what's going on, but she walks off and she throws something at her. I'm like, what? I'm trying to be nice, go to pick up whatever she threw, and I pick it up, and it's like this big like leopard print bra, and I'm like, why did I try to be nice and pick this up? I'm like, just go drop it back in the bin. Last time I picked something up for somebody in here.
$54 to ship 4 pounds to Israel yesterday. Wow. Well, that's like, I feel like that's decent for across, like, to another country. Like,
there we go. Flip Finds Funds has seen the same thing in our bins.
Oh, yeah. I guess you guys do have the same, huh? No, there's no bins near me either, Melanie. I'm 6 hours from one. The last time I was there, though, people's cars were getting towed. And they kept announcing, if you're parked here, you are going to get towed. And then whenever I walked out there was this lady in the parking lot. She was just walking around with her stuff. And you could tell she was just looking around like, where's my car? And it was in that area that they must have said 100 times, we're towing your car now. And yeah, they had towed her car and she was just walking around with her stuff. I kind of felt bad for her because, it's kind of hard to hear on the speaker system in there sometimes. The Disney Baker is here. Just did a vlog on Saturday, was the last day of Splash Mountain. I hope the Disney Baker got something to sell on eBay because people are killing it, allegedly. I don't think any of those water
jars. I don't know. I saw that Splash Mountain last day water jar.
I feel like if the one was really going to go for over 10 grand, then someone would have bid on the one that's 5,000 right now. I feel like there's something's going on at that one that's 10 grand. But anyway, he ended up riding it 6 times. He vlogged all day from there and just rode it over and over again. That was pretty cool. Some bins are sketchy. Ours sure is. The thrift shops are nice, though. Yeah, there's 2 in St. Louis. So when I do go up there, I at least go to 2. Never been to the bins. I want to go so bad. I need to go visit my mother-in-law because she lives close to the bins. Yeah, you have to go at least once.
It's an experience, if nothing else.
It is. My bins are an hour and a half away. Well, when I went to where my parents live, my sister's pretty bougie, and I asked her if she wanted to go with me. And so she goes, and I said, I have to give you like kind of a rundown, things that you're not supposed to do. I didn't want her to get like in trouble in there. I definitely didn't want her to touch something before the cart was parked and people yell at her or anything. So I give her the rundown. We walk in there. This bins is the smallest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was the size of like a Dollar Tree or less. And there weren't like, just nobody cared in there. I swear there was like a couple carts worth of items in that entire bins. I barely found anything. It was definitely a different like situation. Christopher said lasted 3 minutes in the bins and never went back. If I lived close to a bins, I would go every day, I think, just for whatnot.
I mean, I see people killing it in the bins. I mean, you see Flip the World he goes live from the bins
and selling like $1,000 a show.
Crazy.
Like, yeah, I would like, because Whatnot is all a volume game. If you can give stuff to people inexpensively, because everyone on there wants a deal, but where are you going to get the inexpensive stuff? The bins. Like, yeah, if I live close enough, maybe I should start making like at least a monthly trip to St. Louis just to go. Marcus goes like, I think once a week, but he's got an hour advantage. He's an hour further north than I am. The one closest to us is more clothes than hard goods. I wish they had more options than just clothes. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I prefer hard goods too. I recorded one of the employees smashing a bin into a lady.
That sounds about right for our bins.
Wow, that is pretty crazy. Jason says, just here, wanted to say hi and happy to see the collab make that money reseller community.
I talked to Jason a bunch on Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Kitschy Cat, I live 10 minutes from the bins. I have to exercise a lot of self-control to only visit once in a while. No, I'd go all the time. Love to go to the bins. So is there one in Kansas City also, Judy? Bro, I have a friend here that is at the bins every day. He sells vintage shirts and he finds killer stuff. Yeah, that's what I would want to do. That sounds dreamy.
Just never, like I said, I don't do much digging in the clothes bins, but I just have never really found a whole lot to sell. But I mean, I guess your margins are pretty good with the buy cost there.
Oh yeah. What about vintage clothes? Do you pick that up if you see it?
If I see it.
Gotcha.
Just, I don't know. I don't usually when I go and look at clothes, it's just like the jackets. I'll look through the jackets and hoodies and sweatshirts and some of that stuff.
Because of higher return.
Right.
I hear
it's a little easier to figure out. Like, I don't know. I mean, I watch some of these vintage t-shirt guys and I don't know that I really understand it. I don't get the whole vintage shirt deal.
Christopher sent me a vintage Barbie shirt and I almost wore it tonight. I've got this vintage guess on, but I almost wore it tonight. He said I shouldn't wear it. I should like frame the shirt because it's kind of an important vintage Barbie shirt, but I think I'm going to wear it. I almost wore it, like I say, tonight. And I was like, oh, Christopher's going to die laughing if I wear this shirt on there. Yeah, they are fun to find because if you find the right one, it can pay for more than your whole trip. So do you want to play the game? Are you feeling like Picasso right now?
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay, let's do it, guys. It's 9:30, so we're gonna play. If you're new here, there's 100 people. Got to do my dance. I saw we were at like 106 earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt. Okay, so if you're new here, if you've never witnessed this game, this is how it's gonna work. So Anthony's gonna think of something that he has either sold recently or picked up recently, kind of maybe an interesting item or an interesting story behind it, and he's going to draw a picture of it, and y'all's job is to guess what the picture is. Sounds easy enough until you hear the twist. He's got to put this paper on top of his head. So he's going to draw a picture of whatever the item is on top of his head. I am going to write the word start in the chat. So nothing counts until it's after the word start, okay? And then we're going to search for the first person to get it right wins $150 shopping spree in my eBay store. Okay. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Clearly over 1,500 items. Are you ready? Go ahead and
I'm ready.
Go ahead and start drawing. Let me know when I should get ready to hit the start there. You guys are already guessing.
Pretty bright here, I guess. You can hardly see me. I couldn't get them right. I tried.
Oh, it's fine. It's lighting is so tricky.
Just put in bright lights for doing my listings, and it's a little too much for doing a video.
Drew put the light that's above me is 6 fluorescent bulbs straight across, and so that's why it's never on, and it's always so dark in here. Because if I turned it on, I would be just the same.
Let's see what I can do here.
All right, guys. Angelic and glorious is what Keith says. A cold plate of Satan. A burnt potato. Your guesses do not count. NASA hoodie because you're wearing one. Hello, get over here and say hi to Anthony C. He is over on Whatnot. Hang on.
This was a Goodwill find for like $6.
Oh, really?
Vans. If you find the one with the patches down the arm, it's like $100 hoodie.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Say hi to Anthony C. He's ace on Whatnot.
Hi. Hey, Dolo.
He's drawing on his head. This is the game that he's going to show it. We can't guess, but the chat's going to guess what it is, and whoever gets it right gets it.
I think that's about as good as it's going to get here.
Okay, I'm gonna push start. Are you ready? Go ahead and show it. Right. You'll just have to set it up there for a second, and then okay. So everything after start. Okay, guys.
Is it the first person to guess?
Yes, but you can't guess. Okay. Okay.
You got a good view of it here.
Spell your name right. Everyone spelled it right that I see so far.
I think.
Hang on. Let me go back up real quick. Is it 2 gangs outside Walmart reenacting West Side Story?
Not quite. You're close though. All right, let's see. I see it in the chat already. I I guess need to see you start. And then it looks like Keith got it if we count his
I know.
misspelling
That's
here.
why I was like, if we count, you know what? I think that he said wow because he misspelled it so bad. But I understand what he meant. You understand what he meant, right?
Yeah.
We should give it to Keith.
I think they won.
Keith, by the way, is the one who gifted us. We won the off-white shirt.
Oh, I
So-
wore that last Monday.
So we should definitely give it to him, right?
Yes.
A lot of people got it. Your drawing was probably the best one we've ever had on the show.
I didn't practice ahead of time. I didn't tell anybody ahead of time. I had to refrain from posting it on Instagram because I'm like, I want to. This is going to be my item. Like I found it earlier on in the week, so I'm glad it worked out.
Show us one more time. Show it again. Oh, someone said an egg beater. It does look like an egg beater.
I guess that would work, but no, it's a unicycle.
What's the story behind finding a unicycle? What happened?
I don't know that there's a grand story behind finding it, but I mean, I found it and really I had agreed to come on your show and I'm like, all right, I know I'm going to have to do the drawing in your head game. I got to find something that's going to be, a decent find that I can deal with drawing. And I saw it and I was like, that's it. That's the item. So I had to grab it. I mean, some of the branded unicycles, some of them are like $150, $200, $250. So it could be a bolo, I guess. The one I've got doesn't have a brand. It's probably worth about $80, I guess.
And what'd you pay for it?
20.
Nice.
Are you gonna learn how to ride it, or are you gonna
Oh
sell
no.
it?
Oh, I've got to sell. I tried riding it, Dello. It was ugly. Like my wife was out there fearing for my life. She couldn't even watch. She thought I was gonna die out there. She's like, I'm not about to watch my husband die on a unicycle.
Did you hurt yourself?
I may have a bruise. I haven't looked yet, but I felt like I may have sprained my wrist. But it doesn't. My wrist doesn't hurt anymore, so I don't think I sprained it. But I definitely got a little.
Della, you tried to ride a unicycle once, right?
One time. It didn't go very well. I also think that the tire wasn't aired up all the way though. So
nice.
okay, I'm
I don't know how people do it. I mean, you see people juggling and jump roping and everything, and I'm like, I can't even hold onto the fence and balance on this thing, let alone ride in a straight line.
That's a serious skill. Yeah, that's pretty epic. That's nice.
Okay, I'm gonna go keep playing chess. Bye, guys.
Hang on. Keith had a question for you before you leave. He said, "Were those Jordans the UNC?
Which ones?
The ones that you wore with your off-white shirt?"
Yeah, they're the newer ones that came out. What, 2019?
I don't
think.
know.
So sometime around there. They are though.
Bye, Della.
Bye, guys.
He's playing chess. Do you play chess?
I know how to play. I don't really play like that though.
He's really getting into it right now. If y'all want to add him, I told him to add Hustle at Home Mom because she's recently got on chess.com and Dello is on chess.com. If you guys want to, if you're on there and you want to play him,
Dello_Watson. Send me a
Dello_Watson. He wants to play people on chess.com. Oh, he said, I will beat you. Did you guys hear that?
I'm sure he'd beat me. There's no doubt about that.
Oh man, congratulations, Keith. Look through the store and tell me what you want. $150 worth of stuff, courtesy of Christopher. So a big thanks to Christopher, who got the picture very wrong. He wasn't even close with his guess. But he never is. Riding a unicycle is not like riding a bike. I used to ride all the time as a kid. Can't do it no more. Wait, so are you going to list it on eBay local pickup only, or are you going to ship that thing?
I mean, after the nativity scene, I could probably ship just about anything.
I
So
love that. Yeah,
I'm not
it's
against
really
shipping it.
breakable.
And I'm like 2 days away from the 30-day window on the delivery on that nativity scene, and I haven't heard they were really chatty when I sold it, and then after I was like, all right, it's in the mail. Didn't hear a word, so I'm just waiting for day 29, praying that they don't say, oh, this was chipped or that was broken. So I think I've got 2 more days on that.
Nice. And that was kind of funny. We all have done this before, but you Googled the house where it was going to.
Oh yeah, it was. Once I messaged them, and I was like, "Hey, it's supposed to be local pickup." And as soon as I said that, they were like, "I'll pay shipping." I was like, "Let me look at this house." And this thing it was like a super nice house, massive.
I think that house had little children houses.
Yeah, it had tennis court, pool. They had the whole deal there. So
Keith is cracking me up. He has got to be one of the most ADD people I've ever met in my life. He's like, what did I win?
That's so funny. I
Keith,
love Keith.
Keith, you won $150 shopping spree of my store. So on eBay, I'm RJLP, and it'll pop up like the vintage redesigned or something like that. Go spend $150. Try to include shipping, please, if you can. So maybe just a little shy of that. But yeah, man, I'll get the package shipped out to you. What you need to do is screenshot. He said, I've never seen that kind of money. Yeah, whatever. I see the video games and toys that you flip. Screenshot the stuff you want, and then DM me over on Instagram and show me like, hey, I want this, this, and this, and I'll just take the listings off the store and send them to you. Yay! Yeah, great supporter, Christopher. Yeah, don't tell me thank you. Tell Christopher. He spent the money in the store and wanted you guys to have it. So he's more epic than I am. I just list stuff and then bring the artistic talent over here to draw a perfect unicycle, like treads and all. Keith's cracking me up now. He's like, oh, dude, you rule, you rule. That's awesome. Well, that was fun. Yeah, the unicycle that I have that Della was trying to ride, we got gifted to us by somebody that was moving, and they just didn't have any more room in the U-Haul. And so somehow we ended up with the thing. But I kind of forgot that we owned it until you and I are having this conversation now.
There you go. We need a video on your Instagram of you riding your unicycle.
I feel like that. And then I also unearthed my fire baton the other day, and there's snow on the ground. The last time I did the fire baton, it was in the snow, like on the Instagram or on YouTube. So I could go recreate that too. But not the two at the same time. I feel like that's not going to work out well if you try to, if you tried to fire baton while you were on the unicycle.
Yeah. Save that for the circus.
It wouldn't go really well. Have you ever bought something that you were really shocked about the value? Like you thought it was valuable, so you picked it up without running comps, and then you get home and you realize how valuable it really was?
Like was more valuable than I thought?
Yes.
Or
like more valuable. Like or you go to sell it and you're like, oh, holy cow, I had no idea it was worth this.
I don't know. I really try to look up everything. Like if I'm in a thrift store, I go around, I get everything that I'm interested in, and I have no shame sitting there and looking it all up.
Yeah, like I bought some Rothy's once because I know Rothy's are good, but I had no idea that they were going to sell at auction for $432.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, I haven't had anything quite like that.
Yeah, I thought it was $70.
There was a college football helmet that I had picked up from like the 60s. And I actually had made, I don't know if I'd say made friends, but one of the guys that worked in Goodwill, we talked a lot every time I went in there. He actually came shopping in Kroger and saw me there, and we started talking there. So he's a pretty good guy, and he brought it out, and he kind of gave me first dibs on it. He was like, hey, we're supposed to send this to the online website, but the manager said, just stick it out here. You want first dibs? And I was like, I'll take it. And I figured it had to be worth at least, they wanted $40 for it. I figured it had to be worth at least $40. So I did take a chance, and I looked it up, and I mean, this thing was beat to pieces. But I found some I think it was on Heritage Auctions that had sold for like $700 or $800. So I was like, heck yeah. I think I listed mine for $500, and I let it sit for a little while, and it sold for over $300.
Wow.
So that was one of my top sales.
That was, you said, like a 60s college football helmet?
Yeah. North Carolina Tar Heels football helmet.
Wow. Yeah, I would think, hey, that's worth something, but I would never think that much money.
Right. I mean, I guess it went to some collector or something. I tried
like
posting about it in a Facebook group, and I got kicked out for trying to sell it. I'm like, geez.
Oh, wow. Huh. Yeah, there's just an expert in everything around you somewhere. Like you can't be an expert in everything, but if you look around, especially in this community, there's somebody that knows about it.
Oh, yeah.
And just reaching out to people all the time. That's crazy, because there's a lot of different niches that there's people that will spend a lot of money on stuff. Like we were talking tomorrow on Let's Do Lunch podcast, we talk about a Barbie doll outfit that just sold for $1,700 for a hat and coat. and it's for a Barbie, and just the fact that what people will spend on stuff like that.
I don't have that kind of money, but I'm glad people out there do, and I'm happy to go shopping for them.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, let me go find it and put it up so that you can buy it. Dawn's husband just made a sale. Cha-ching. Pat D's is here. Rachel, person, turquoise waving face, orange frowning. What's up, Pat D's? I wish I could see any of those. Maggie said sold a crystal bull for $350. Wow, 10-inch crystal bull. Wow. That's nuts. Yeah, I think it was still my highest dollar one was that silverware that sold for $1,000, and she
Wow.
only wanted $5. I gave her 10 because I felt like I should give her more. I didn't realize what it was worth. I thought it was silver plated, and then got home and saw it was sterling, and then still didn't think it was worth that. You know, sometimes you just don't know until you really look it up. Dang, I want that Pistons pullover, but I need to lose weight first. Maybe I can, like, I don't know, lose some weight by going vegan. No, I didn't cut my hair. I hate when people ask me that, because after I cut it last year, it hasn't grown. Like, I feel like it gets shorter all the time. And I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, if someone else asked me if I cut my hair.
Oh no.
Because I just want it to be long again, but whatever. It is what it is. Pockets and Stitches, hello. Paid $10 and sold it for $350. Wow, that's crazy. That's insane. Well, where do you see your reselling going this year? Are you going to be diving into the world of whatnot? Are you eBay specifically and only right now?
eBay, and then I'll do Facebook Marketplace for like big stuff.
Gotcha.
Or I try to keep Facebook Marketplace for either like the big stuff or stuff that like is seasonal that people are looking for like right now. You know, on eBay, you could put up Christmas right now and people are still buying Christmas.
Absolutely. I was making offers this morning on Radco. I was like, hey, if you can get a $50 discount if you buy it today.
Right. And I feel like Facebook, it's got to be what people are looking for. It's got to be kind of what's hot right now. You know, it's not, nobody's on Facebook, I think, looking up Christmas stuff, for example.
Yeah, you're right. So are you, like, truth be told, are you going to dive into whatnot this year?
Man, I'm looking next to me at all these Legos. I'm like, I probably need to just do it. What's the worst that can happen?
Then you start, as long as you started at the minimum you're willing to take for it, the worst that could happen is that they don't sell and they go back in that drawer.
Right.
Like, and then you can list all of them that you want on eBay. But what if you sold them all and you sold them all in one night? Yeah, that could be pretty great.
Yeah. Keep telling me to get on YouTube.
Get a YouTube. I'm about to buy a giant lot from a guy on YouTube that contacted me. Wow, really? People will buy from there too, dude. If you do what not, I might try it. Okay, I'm sorry. I really am struggling to read that. If you do whatnot, he might try it too. Yes, do it. Everyone's cheering you on to just do whatnot. And
you have like a link to refer a seller, right?
I do. Yeah, I have a seller referral link. I'll send it over to you. Why did I think that you had clicked that at one point? Yeah, I'll send it over to you, and then it definitely helps to get approved. Most people are approved in like a day or two after using the link, so long as you fill out the application fully and completely, because some people will just snap a couple random photos and think the referral link is going to do the rest of the work, and that's not. But you have so much stuff. If you send him your pictures, yeah, just don't apply. And like, I understand comic books has a waiting list right now. Like, so if it's a category that is kind of oversaturated, you might end up being put on a wait list. I'm always going to read this the way that Joey Bada Bing does. Jack Booty Retro, hello. Because nobody reads it quite better than he does, right?
So funny. I still laugh every time at Joey.
But it's good. I have to say the same thing. You're gonna come on. Oh yeah, I actually did forget about coming on to the ship show. How could I forget about that? Will you DM me the details again over on Instagram? We talked about that. He does a shipping show, and I said I want to pop in one day. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm an honest person. Yeah, I kind of forgot about it. Wait, now that means that I might have to do it. Yeah, you should do it. I want to be on the ship show. I do. Use Rachel's link. Isn't that nice? Because Whatnot's not paying me to put out my videos. So if people would just click my referral link, that helps me out quite
Make it a little easier.
Yeah. Whatnot does not like me at all. They will not accept me. Why, Melanie? What are you doing wrong? We need to get you in a category that nobody else is in or something. Hubby bought a huge pallet yesterday, 4x4x5. Have you ever done pallet or considered it?
I mean, I haven't done it. I mean, I would consider anything for the right price, the right stuff. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I really try to look at, I'll take a risk sometimes, but for the most part, sometimes you pay for your education, and as long as I think I'm not going to lose money, I'll go for it. If I can make my money back at least and learn something along the way, I'll do it.
Don't do HBA because, like, I remember when Lindy Glenn was doing the HBA pallets and that, like, almost shut her store down. And then Angie Resells had HBA and she almost got kicked off of eBay. It just seems like, it just seems like HBA isn't worth the headache, like with the expiration dates and stuff,
Right.
Yeah. And Jack Donkey. That's what I'll say. they're debating about whether or not it's a swear word. But like some people will say, instead of ticked off, they'll say peed off, but not. And I consider that a swear word, but I've heard some people like just outside of, I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say that that's not a swear word, but like growing up in my house, that was definitely a swear word. You didn't say it.
It'd be considered a swear word. I wouldn't use it probably.
I wouldn't say that, but I know a lot of people that like they'd say it in anyone's company and not think twice about it. Rachel, I see you are partying out your Legend of Dragon. What is that? Was that on purpose? What's the Legend of
PlayStation game? I think is what he's talking about. That should be like an old PlayStation game.
I didn't have all the disc, Keith, if that's what you're talking about. Trevor at 10th Street Market helped me with some of those PlayStation games, like and telling me what to look for and stuff. And one of his things was make sure you have everything in the set. And then so I started looking, and so many things were like 3 or 4 disc sets, and I only had like 1 or 2 of them. So it probably looks like I'm partying it out and smart, but I just didn't have all of it. It made you tear your ACL. That's the most persuasive raccoon. What? What did I miss about a raccoon?
What got missed?
Oh, Christy. She was trying to stop her cat from going out and starting a fight with the raccoons. So I ran to stop him and just now this happened? Dang. Hubs paid $100, I guess, for this pallet. Potential profit of $2,500 to $3,000.
What is in? Did I miss what's in the pallet? Is it clothes?
I think
I see the name is Throwback Threads.
Keith said he doesn't even think it's a curse word. Which one? Really? Use Rachel's referral link. That is a shocker. Yeah, I would think that. I don't know. Okay. Jack Booty says, read a book, y'all. Am I going to pronounce this right? Etymology of the word is completely different from the word. Regardless of what you think, definition is the definition.
God.
I mean, it would depend on the context, I guess, as long as the context is there. But we'll just keep saying Jack Booty.
Care of Joey Bada Bing.
Yeah. If only Joey were here to hear this now. Yes, my Bible uses the word. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, he's over there in King James, I'm sure. Mostly darts for Nerf. That's what he sold 10 packs of 150 darts each for $60. Wow. Mostly Nerf. Like you got a pallet of mostly Nerf darts? Wow.
Was that online somewhere?
Yeah, we want to know where he got the pallet now so we can bid against you. I'm just kidding. I don't want a pallet. Maybe I want a pallet. Yeah. You brood of vipers. That's right. That's the type of thing that people used to insult each other with. You brood of vipers. Oh, this conversation's all over the place. That's true. Yeah, no, Mom, I wouldn't say that standing next to you. I would never like swear in front of my parents, especially, which I don't swear anyway, but I could never like in front of my parents. How embarrassing would that be for me, for them?
I would agree.
I don't use the word though for witness sake and cause any to stumble. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Trevor, I'm just gonna leave your comment there. Oh boy. So, Anthony, what's your favorite part about joining in these chats throughout the week? Like, do you primarily, I know you said you listen to us a lot of time while you're at work. Are you looking for bolos or are you just liking the camaraderie
I
of
mean,
everything?
I just enjoy, hanging out, hearing about reselling, talking about reselling. I mean, that's why, I wasn't on Instagram before reselling. I didn't even really know what it was. I have a Facebook. I'm not really on there either, but I just like the reselling community. A lot of great people, a lot that can be learned, just a lot of fun in general. So, I guess I don't even know how I found the first one with Joey.
Yeah,
But I think
it's
it was
kind of
probably
funny.
the first
to,
lives that I joined.
I bet. Like, it's so weird to not even know that these things ever existed before, and now you can't really imagine
Yeah.
life without jumping in a few chats or something, you know?
Right. I didn't even know like that reselling was really a thing, like I said, until I started finding and seeing people on YouTube. And I was like, I bet I can do that. And here we are.
Was Commonwealth like the first one that you saw that you were like, let me give this a chance?
I think he was a little bit later. It was probably Harry Tornado that really I started seeing more of reselling besides just, like I said, the video games, watching Retro Rick.
Chrissy wants to know about your Kroger flips.
From food, not so much. I've looked at a couple of things. Like I tried when the Halloween peeps came in, I tried listing a box of those as a case. I took a picture right there on the floor and then just put it on the I didn't buy it. I just put it on the shelf. I'm like, these aren't going to sell yet. And I got a couple of views, no hits on it, but it's worth a shot. It's just kind of a different mindset about, money and your time and your value and your worth. Once you start reselling, it's I could stay late at work getting stuff done, but it's costing me money. I could be home listing stuff. My time is more valuable now than that, kind of thing.
That's crazy. That's
I've
kind
looked
of
at we got the Dolly Parton banana cake mix that came in, and I saw people were selling that, and I looked into it. I'm like, I could, I guess. I could order as much as I wanted for the store, and then buy it myself if I really wanted to. But I've seen some of that. I've seen the Christmas tree cakes, and I talked to the guy that delivers them. He's like, man, I can barely even get them. I'm like, I bet you I could sell these online for even more this year than they sell in the past if he can't even get them.
That's crazy. Yeah, because I've picked up a few grocery items. Tell me if these were bad pickups. I picked up the Lady Gaga Oreos when those were in.
I don't even remember seeing those.
They were beautiful. The Oreo
Did they sell?
part, no.
Then I guess it wasn't the.
They were delicious. They were
Or they
delicious.
didn't even make it. Were you trying to sell them, or you
I
were just
tried to sell them. I just ended up eating them. So this color pink, the cookies were that color pink, and the cream was green. And there was no chocolate flavor, which is typically where I draw the line. I'm not eating dessert if it's not chocolate, but they were like a sugar cookie and really, really strong. So none of those sold. And then I got the Rick and Morty Pringles whenever those came in. Do you think those sold?
I'm gonna guess no.
They did not. My son took those to lunch. If Drew just keeps putting words that start with P in the chat, he's like, what word are we talking about? Partake, pork chop, pansy, Play-Doh? We'll just let you keep going. You just keep adding descriptive words in there, hon. Yeah, have never. I'm trying to think of one time I ever sourced a food item, listed it, and it actually did sell. And Chrissy said potato chips. I did sell that one potato chip, but I feel like that doesn't count because that was to a reseller. That was fun for auction and everything.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do pick up when stuff goes on clearance, some of the HBA type stuff. I got some razor blades and razors not too long ago that went on clearance for cheap, and razor blades are going to sell. You list them, they're going to sell. And
do you ever have people pop? I'll remember that whenever I see razors on clearance because they are expensive. You're right. But do you ever see a reseller in the store and you're like, I know that person's a reseller? because they're buying up all the clearance, or they're like checking their phone on comps or something.
I don't know that I've paid that much to, not at Kroger anyway, in the grocery store. Some at Walmart, like in the clearance aisles, I would see some of that, but not so much in the grocery store.
Yeah, I would think that. So give us the honest take when someone, because as a reseller, you're just like, "Oh, I hope they didn't see me," because you never know if it's like the store that you're going to get kicked out of. How does a manager actually feel if you see something like that? Which I understand everyone's different. Like, do you care as long as it's being sold?
They can do whatever they want.
That I wish everyone had that.
I don't know. Some people get really weird about that kind of stuff, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I got way more important things to do in this store than worry about this one person buying up too much of this or that.
Yeah, to put limits on things and everything. McCormick seasoning packets can be good bolos. I have heard that, especially the ones that get discontinued. Drew and Mary are just having a heyday over there. I think she gave him all the MVP trophies too. He gets every trophy. We even have like limits on certain things at our thrift store. I don't know if they ever lifted it, but they had a strict limit of like 20 sewing patterns. And this is on a shelf that probably had 700 sewing patterns at all times. They would be so full of sewing patterns that you would have to damage them just to get them out of like the little boxes. And then they had a sign up that said limit 20 or 25. And I asked her one day, I was like, why is there a limit on sewing patterns? And she said, well, some people buy them just to sell them.
Those evil people buying them just to sell them.
And I was like, huh, that's interesting. But can you imagine like preferring them to be damaged or so full that no one can even look through them?
Right. They just need to like sell it. I don't know. One of our thrift stores nearby is like really like, I don't know. I guess you could say they're against reselling or kind of, I don't know. I guess they don't really like resellers all that much, but all their stuff is usually priced up really high anyway. Like they look up stuff. They're the kind of store that like hangs up like the eBay listing next to their item. Like here's how much it's listed for on eBay. Never mind sell through. Never mind what people are actually paying for it. But I just remember I was in there with my family one day shopping. I would go in there a bunch by myself and find what I could. But I was in there with my family, and the manager like tells me that like, you guys are just the kind of people that we would like to see shopping in our stores. And I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, you think I'm, the poor people that are getting stolen from, then you like to see me in here shopping? Like,
your poor family can't afford your pants. We're glad that you're here. Is there anything else I can give you?
He's kind of, I don't know. I don't like him all that much, the manager there, but it is what it is. I didn't really say a whole lot, but like afterwards I was like, wait a minute.
I think I can feel like a new marketing strategy for your grocery store though. Like, when the Pokemon Oreos were out and all of a sudden people were saying that they were selling for like $50 a cookie, you could have printed out the eBay listing and put it next to the Oreos just to get people to buy.
Could be paying for it.
And say, listen, we're not going to charge you per cookie. We're going to let you buy the whole pack right now for $4.56.
But actually, I found one of my best flips in his store. So, and it was
what was it?
It was a bunch of kids' books for paid $1 each for like, I don't know, 12 or 15 of these kids' books called The Three Investigators, and paperback. One of them sold for like $125 for a little paperback book. Some of them were selling, $15, $20, $30. And the hardback ones, I've seen those sell for like $400 or $500 for a hardback of these books. I couldn't believe it. Like when I found it, I was like, oh man, let me get out of here before he like grabs me and makes me put them back.
They're called The Three Investigators?
The Three Investigators. I guess they were out in like the 70s and 80s.
What type of knockoff the Boxwood, or what's it called? Like Boxcar Kids is that? Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what it was, the same kind of style, but
what type of like knockoff Timothy Drew is The Three Investigators? It is though, isn't it? Like, yeah, that's interesting. Have a honey hole that supports kids, amazing items. Yeah, I feel like it's really good whenever you can find a local thrift store that the money actually does go to charity. On my last video, that's what I was talking about, was that the money at that thrift store actually feeds hungry people in our community. And like, so when you do find an item that's kind of overpriced, it's easier to go ahead and spend that because
Right. Yeah. There's one nearby here that I like going to just for that reason. It's the church thrift store, and they employ a lot of like, the recovering drug addicts and stuff and get them kind of back on their feet. Like I went in there one morning they were closed, and you look in there and they're like doing a Bible study with everybody before they open. And then like the one girl opens it and like we all come in and they're, standing in a circle praying before they start. And we're all in there shopping. I'm like, I'm just going to wait here a minute and let y'all finish, and then I'll go dig through your store.
Yeah.
But I like going to the stores like that.
Our local teen challenge is like that. We have a teen challenge like 17 miles from here. And they're like if you go on Wednesday, you're going to have to wait until afternoon because they have church on Wednesday mornings. And like all the guys there are in the teen challenge adult rehab program. It's called Teen Challenge, but it's for adults for like substance abuse, alcohol abuse, things like that. Anyway, they're like volunteering in the store, but it's like kind of a work program, I guess. Mrs. Frugal Trash to Cash said, "You did great, Anthony. I got to go to sleep because the alarm goes off, but I never saw her mention my invitation to come hang out where you're at. So before you go, she's surely heard me say that, right?"
I'm sure she's heard. I'm sure she's ready by next week.
Drew Strickland, yeah, y'all just ignore that crazy man. He's cracking himself up over here. If he ever goes live on his channel, I'm gonna show up and do the same thing while he's talking about electrical. Yeah, our teen challenge is great. You can thank David Wilkerson for helping us make money while winning souls to Christ. Yeah, like it's a win-win to shop at places like that. Are those books by Alfred Hitchcock?
I don't think he was the author, but they're like part of, like they had his name, like when I did research on him, like his name was always on a bunch of the listings, but he wasn't the author. So I don't know what the deal was exactly with him.
I wonder why. Yeah, why is his name attached? Gets so much for less than $1, even giving me items. They know I'm trying to supplement my Social Security. Nice. I'm this many. Yeah, we know you're 3 or 4. Oh my gosh, he's got Melanie in on this now. Oh, do not encourage him, guys. We have a local thrift store that is a total nonprofit. All their proceeds go to children's charities and veterans. That's beautiful. That's awesome. Alfred. Oh my gosh. The chat's off the rails. We're closing.
They lost it.
We're closing this down. Well, you can in good faith, you'll be able to tell your wife that you didn't say anything embarrassing all night on the chat, and that everything went really well. I hope that everyone has enjoyed getting to know Anthony more, getting to know his backstory. I know I have. Is like, somebody on, in the chats or on Instagram, but getting to this opportunity to sit down and talk to you has been awesome. So like, I really appreciate you saying that you would come on.
Yep. Thanks for having me. I almost felt like I had to, but I would have come on either way. I was getting the hate mail from, there she goes. Mom's Closet gave me the hate mail last time, conning her into coming on the show.
You did. You were the one responsible for Mom's Closet Texas being on the show. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, you guys. I hope everyone had a good time. Congratulations again to Keith. I hope you guys don't mind us giving it to him with the misspelling there, but we all know what he meant with unicycle. And there were a lot of misspellings of unicycle. It must be a word that autocorrect tries to change or something. So anyway, guys, I hope everyone has a great night. Do you want to tell them the one thing I always try to end the show with?
Treat your business like your business.
Bye, guys.